We do want to share some breaking news that's happening at this moment. Kamala Harris's campaign now says that she has just crossed the threshold to win the Democratic nomination. Let's listen to the vice president.
At the Democratic National Committee, the DNC, has been extraordinary, and I know how hard you work. So, Jamie, thank you for everything that you are doing. And to everyone on the call, thank you for your hard work and all you have been doing over these last many, many, many months. And I know that we are excited about the future, but we also know that we got a lot of work to get there, and we have a lot of work to do. It's good work. We like hard work. And I just want to thank everyone for joining this call. Listen, I think we all approach our campaign with the same spirit, including that this is truly a people-powered campaign. And I would not be on this call right now and with you all were it not for your support and your trust, for which I am deeply grateful. I am honored to be the presumptive Democratic nominee for President of the United States, and I will tell you the tireless work of our delegates, our state leaders and staff has been pivotal in making this moment possible. And your dedication cannot be overstated. Your dedication to our country. You know, I know we all feel this way so strongly. We love our country. We believe in the promise of America. And that's what this campaign is about. So, of course, I will officially accept your nomination next week, once the virtual voting period is closed. But already I'm happy to know that we have enough delegates to secure the nomination. And later this month, we will gather in Chicago, united as one party, where we're going to have an opportunity to celebrate this historic moment together. And again, this campaign is about all of us coming together, people coming together from every walk of life, every lived experience, and being fueled by our love of country, knowing that we are prepared to fight for the best of who we are. We believe in the promise of America, a promise of freedom, opportunity, and justice, not just for some, but for all. And ultimately, in this election, you all have heard me say many times, we each face the question, what kind of country do we want to live in? Do we want to live in a country of freedom, compassion, and rule of law, or a country of chaos, fear, and hate? And the beauty of our democracy is we each, every one of us, has the power to answer that question. And that is why I say and know the power is with the people. So here's the bottom line. I say to all the friends on the call, we are going to win this election. And it is going to take all of us, whether it is making calls, connecting with our communities, engaging online, or even talking with people where we go every day, whether it be to the grocery store or our church. We are going to talk with people about the fact that we are all in this together and we stand together. And so let's let folks know that our campaign is about the future, and it's about an expansion of rights and freedoms and for the opportunity of everyone to not just get by, but to get ahead. So November 5th is 95 days away. And North Carolina, for everyone there, you're kicking us off with absentee ballots that are being sent in just 35 days. So we are in this, everyone. We are in this. We are on the road. And, you know, it's not going to be easy, but we're going to get this done. And, as your future president, I know we are up to this fight. And when we fight, everyone will say in unison, we win. So thank you, everyone. Please take care. And I can't wait to see you in Chicago. And thank you again, Jamie.
Thank you so much, Madam Vice President and Chair Harrison.
You have been listening to the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, there as part of what was a live stream from the Democratic National Committee conducting, beginning yesterday into today, what is its virtual roll call, as they had to make sure that they had their nominee secured ahead of their convention to make sure that that nominee's name was on the ballots in all 50 states. There had been some challenges that had existed, including in the state of Ohio, that if it didn't happen by then, it wouldn't occur. Suffice to say, they have until Monday for the numbers to change, but it appears increasingly clear that Kamala Harris will be the Democrats' party's official presidential nominee, Eugene Robinson, Monica Alba, Dasha Bernthal joining me again right now. Eugene, just to you, and I know we've talked about this, but remarkably, it was only, 12 days ago that Joe Biden dropped out of this race. And all of a sudden, we have seen a party just coalesce in ways that no one imagined possible 13 days ago here. Your reaction to this effectively historic moment?
I was just going to say that. It's a historic moment. And the past 12 days, think about that. It seems like at least 12 weeks, maybe 12 months. It has just moved so fast. It is remarkable that the Democratic Party coalesced around the Harris candidacy as quickly as it has, with as few fractures as it might have had. We should look at history. I mean, this is the first time a major party will have nominated a woman of color to become president of the United States. These things are always sort of impossible and out of reach until they happen. And one of these milestones we reached in 2008 with Barack Obama. Who knows? Maybe there will be another milestone this year as well. But the campaign's on now. It's on.
No, I think you're exactly right. Monica, I want to get to you for your thoughts on this, because we just heard from the vice president moments ago saying that we're on the road. We're going to be on the road. Well, in earnest, they'll be on the road like we haven't seen in quite some time over the course of the next week, beginning Tuesday in Philadelphia. And that is the first of many stops that we are told by the campaign that the vice president is going to be making with her yet to be announced VP pick. What does that next sort of couple of weeks look like for Kamala Harris and co.?
Yeah, this already was a bit of a sprint to Election Day for the now Harris campaign, Peter. But we really are going to see that in action next week once they do announce her running mate and once they do kind of hit the ground literally running to those different battleground states over the course of the week. They're going to be basically having events every single day, and then they want to kind of use some of that energy to start to build up to the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. And we should point out that the way that this happened today is a little bit wonky. It's a little bit funny with the virtual roll call. But as you noted, that Ohio ballot deadline was critical on August 7th. But this was also something that Democrats had used during COVID 4 years ago during the DNC to try to kind of generate a little bit of enthusiasm virtually. And they felt like it worked decently well. So they said, OK, we'll do it again, never expecting necessarily that just days before this process was going to be taking place with President Biden at the top of the ticket, there would be a complete change and scramble to now do that with Vice President Harris. So there were all these conversations among Democrats in the last couple of weeks about potentially altering this or shifting it. And the DNC really wanted to be firm and say, no, we need to take care of this. We can still do it in time. But that is why you're seeing it happen today. So the Harris campaign is officially calling her the Democratic nominee, but that won't be formalized until they conclude the actual entirety of the virtual roll call on Monday evening, and then that will be even more ceremonially recognized once we get to Chicago and the Democratic National Convention. So the next couple of weeks are all about the vice president continuing to lay out her theory of the case for this election. As you saw in those remarks there, she's talking about it may not be an easy road, but she has sort of coined her own motto for this race, which is when we fight. And she said, and really referenced that call and response that we've seen now at some of her rallies. She says, quote, we win. So that was her message, acknowledging the Democratic apparatus that has gotten her to this point and really trying to lay that out in terms of the momentum and the enthusiasm they want to see keep building here in these coming weeks, Peter.
Dasha, I want to ask you a question as well. The Trump perspective on some of this right here. It was notable that Kamala Harris made clear to those who were on this virtual roll call with individuals around the country joining and now a national news audience watching it as well, that just 35 days exist between now and the absentee ballots going out in the first state of North Carolina, the Tar Heel state. And it's notable because North Carolina has now changed its election law to require mail-in ballots to arrive by 7:30 p.m. on Election Day rather than within 3 weeks with a proper postmark. The Democratic governor, Roy Cooper, who had originally been on the list of possible VP picks, tried to veto that package, called it a scheme to discourage young and minority voters here. We saw the way that Donald Trump addressed voting early and absentee ballots in 2020. Has his position changed on that issue, knowing how it failed him then?
Oh, completely. The Trump campaign, all of their allies have now been pushing their voters, their supporters, to vote absentee, vote early, or vote on Election Day if they like. I mean, that's been a message he's actually tried to deliver at his rallies and throughout different advertisements. It's an interesting switch, but Peter, when I talk to voters, it's not necessarily landing. I mean, he spent years talking about how absentee voting is fraudulent, which of course is false, but his supporters have gotten the message. So when I go out there and I ask people if they're open to voting by mail, they're still incredibly skeptical of that. And that's something that the Republican Party knows could be detrimental. They're trying to change the framework there, but I don't know if it's necessarily going to work. Just another challenge for them as they try to figure out a strategy against this new opponent that presents a completely different dynamic, Peter.